When we were talking about bonds before, we mentioned that the major reason why atoms form bonds is to fill the outer electron shell, also known as the valence shell. By looking at the number of electrons in the outermost shell, we can actually predict how many bonds that particular atom of that particular element will make. Let's take a look at some of the more common elements and see how many bonds they'll most likely make. Let's start with hydrogen. Hydrogen is made up of one proton. Because it has one proton, a normal hydrogen atom also has one neutron and one electron. This leaves one empty space in the electron orbital. Hydrogen atoms will therefore make one bond in order to fill up this empty space. Next we have oxygen. Oxygen atoms always have 8 protons. And a normal oxygen atom, because it has 8 protons, will also have 8 neutrons and 8 electrons. This means that an oxygen atom will have 2 electrons in the first orbital, and then the remaining 6 electrons will be in the outermost orbital, leaving 2 empty spaces in the outer shell. So oxygen will make 2 bonds to fill those spaces. Nitrogen has 7 protons, and therefore a normal nitrogen atom has 7 neutrons and 7 electrons. There would be 2 electrons in the innermost orbital, and the remaining 5 electrons will fill up the outer shell. So it's going to want to make 3 bonds. Carbon has 6 protons, 6 neutrons, and 6 electrons. 2 in the innermost shell, and the remaining 4 on the outer valence shell. So it's going to want to make 4 bonds in order to fill up the 4 empty spaces in its valence shell. Now, while we could just draw a little diagram of each of these atoms in order to visualize how many bonds that they're going to make, we also have a little expression called HONC. H-O-N-C. Hydrogen makes 1 bond. Oxygen will make 2, nitrogen will make 3, and carbon will make 4. If you forget to HONC, however, you can always draw the diagram of the atom and realize how many bonds they're most likely going to make.